got we got Damian Lillard. So I seen an article by Heavy.com saying that the Pistons should go after Damian Lillard. And we see Damian Lillard, I think he's coming off of the Achilles. I want to say it's an Achilles or ACL. I think he took all last year off. And we seen when he was in a situation where they wanted to win a championship, him and Giannis didn't work. But the only way I do this deal, and you hear that Drew Holiday and Zach LaVine could get bought out, but the only way that I really do this deal is I get him for absolutely nothing. But I don't see Damian Lillard, leaving, I don't see Damian Lillard leaving the Portland Trailblazers. This is basically his retirement ceremony with Portland. So I don't think he's going to chase a ring again when Portland brought him back into the fold, got him back, traded back for him or picked him up off waivers, gave him a bunch of money for what he meant to the organization. I believe he finishes his career there. And I believe a lot of people are trying to sell off Portland guards is because they have a lot of them. Scoot, Drew Holiday, Damian Lillard, John Morant. And Utah has a lot of guards over there. And they could really play Texas Hold'em with a lot of those guards they got in Utah and Portland. They can hold them to the trade deadline and see what they can get for them. But in general, I give up nothing for them. Like bare minimum, match salaries and, see what he can do. But, honestly, he's going to be good where he at. He's better in Portland. As far as in Detroit, what can he bring? He instantly brings shooting. Now, is he going to be that guy that you can rely on to get you 25 points a night? And that's what you need him to get? No, them days are probably over with. Is he a guy that can hit a big shot? Yeah, picture him like Klay Thompson at this point. At this point, he's probably good to hit a spot-up jumper. That's about it. And he's damn sure one of the greatest shooters in the world. And I know people say, oh, you said you would get Steph. Steph is a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? But I guess, you can kind of make the comparison, to getting Steph. But he'll stretch it. He'll shoot it. He'll provide some spacing. He'll provide a lot of, great team camaraderie. I think he'll fit well. I think he'll fit well. I think he'd be better than Karis LeVert in that position, even coming off an injury. But I think he's pretty much happy in Portland. I think that's where he belongs. And I think ultimately you may see Portland build up John Morant's stock and then trade him at the trade deadline. Shade and sharpen those guys. So they're already talking about Drew Holiday hitting the buyout market and going to the Philadelphia 76ers. But, if he back and he can just, be that, spot up 3-point shooter and stuff. Once you start just talking about, getting a guy at Damian Lillard's caliber, if he can be what he was before the injury, shit, you take a flyer on it. Even what he was in Milwaukee. And I think, I don't know, I didn't watch enough of them to see why it didn't work with him and Giannis. Maybe it was the coach. I didn't watch it enough to see why it didn't work. But what I will tell you here, I think he need to always play next to a bigger defensive guard, which in Cade Cunningham. I think Cade can get his jump shot. I think they will make the offense where, he's advantageous, where he's getting the ball, catching and shooting. I think he'd be a good fit in the locker room. I think he'd be a good fit offensively. Defensively, maybe some problems there, but even coming off the Achilles. But I think, it may be give him a great spot to win a championship. But I think at this point, you look at more of you got 3-and-D guys. You got Isaiah Joe. You got a guy who can stretch it out, and Duncan Robinson, not a defensive guy. But, I think ideally, Kawhi was the guy that they really wanted. A guy that can stick you on defense, as they say in Chicago. A guy that can score it. And that's why I didn't really understand not going for Jaylen Brown or the money. The Chili was funny, but, once again, can stick you on defense, can score it. But at this point, Lillard should be good where he at, man. Just go ahead and finish your time off there. But if he was to come here, it'll be hope that he can kind of get back to where he once was. But I just think, if you think about the Pistons, you kind of thinking, he'd be a great mentor for Booker, Corey, K. I wouldn't be opposed to it, to be honest with you. But, they have, if they believe in a Booker, Corey, you can take a flyer on Kyrie, Kevin Durant, those guys. But if not, get somebody that's gonna go, kind of closer to your timeline. But Lillard, only thing he leaves to be desired is health. You don't know where he is health-wise, and then ultimately defensive liability. But one may say, hey, they had Duncan in the lineup last year, but hopefully they can get better defensive effort or more defense out of John Collins, because he could be every bit of a good as defender as peak Tobias Harris was, and you hope that Doran grow defensively, and that would help out a lot, because I expect him to kind of be in the fold. But yeah, I'm Lillard, one of my favorite basketball players of all time, so I would love to go down to Little Caesars and see him play. I don't really think Detroit is in championship mode, so ultimately the championship mode is going to be defined by the development of some of the young players, the Jalen Duren contract, the development of Dennis Jenkins, Abuka Corey, Duren, Hollins, Asar Thompson offensively, and Rollins. It's going to be developed on team development, bro. Or if they can go get another scorer, So I'm going to talk about that and Zach LaVine in another video. But, Lillard is going to give you something that bare minimum that you got a lot on the roster. Isaiah Joe, Duncan Robinson, guys that can stretch that floor out. But I think what he gives you when you lose a guy like Beef Stew, Tim Hardaway Jr., Malik Beasley, Beef Stew, you lose some of those guys, he give you attitude. He give you a veteran that you can lean on. And I was saying the same thing about Drew Holiday. I was saying the same thing, about bringing DeMar DeRozan in. It's just some of the nutrients that he can bring to the team. Just high character guys, been there, done that. I think their development, they can finish their Jedi training under a guy like Damian Lillard, DeMar DeRozan, high character guys. And I think Lillard and DeRozan got that attitude, especially Lillard. He got that killer attitude, I think, that may just show K how to really get over that hump, that real true hump, that can get Abuka Corey over that hump. It can get Dennis Jenkins over that hump. Kind of having a similar story, Weber State. Nobody recruiting him out of high. Get him. I think he come with a chip on his shoulder. I think his value would be in the Piston if they trade him is finishing the rest of the training for those young guards in that room. I said the same thing about DeMar DeRozan. It's connecting the rest of those dots for those guys. And I think a guy like Lillard, what you pay him is just invaluable wisdom that he gonna give him the team. And anything he give you on the floor, is gonna be extra. I think he'd be determined to get a championship. But if you get the Lillard that was in Milwaukee before the injury, which, still can do some things, I think in this offense, he won't have the struggles that he had in Milwaukee. He can be himself. Anytime I get that guy, plus I get the mentorship, I wouldn't mind I would make the deal, but that's coming from a non-biased opinion. But it's from a biased opinion, a huge fan of Lillard, one of my favorite players of all time. I'll definitely do it. I believe in his character. I believe in his toughness, his game. But I think at this point, where Portland put that money up to show love, and they own her cheap, he should finish his career out there. But hey, check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Hit the link in the description. Find me everywhere: X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, Spotify, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Peace.